Good day everyone, my name is Junomel D. Agsunod and today we will talk about Ausubel's meaningful learning, the four processes of meaningful learning in the advanced organizers. And at the end of the lessons, the students will be able to differentiate the four processes of Ausubel's meaningful verbal learning and apply the different types of advanced organizers. And Ausubels believe that the most important single factor influences learning is what the learner already knows, and this is also called subsumption theory. In order to make verbal learning meaningful, make sure that all sub-concepts will be included under the main concept. Now, let us talk what is subsumption theory. A learner absorbs new information by trying it to existing concepts and ideas that they have already acquired. And in that definition, it simply means that a student can effectively acquire new knowledge if it already exists, and that only unique information that stands out within the lesson is committed into the memory. Ausubel prescribed that the procedure in making verbal learning meaningful, since we all know that the classroom learning is through verbal learning. Now, let us talk about the four processes of meaningful learning. First, will have the derivative subsumption, the correlative subsumption, and the superordinate learning, and the combinatorial learning. And first, we will talk about the derivative subsumption. What do you mean by derivative subsumption? So, derivative subsumption is when you add new things to the existing cognitive structure. So, let us take this as an example of derivative learning. Suppose you were acquainted to the concept of a vegetable like lettuce, cabbage, and an eggplant that is sour, bitter, and sweet, or anything that describes the vegetable. So, if you hear or see about the vegetable, you can directly state that it is sour, bitter, salty, or sweet, or anything that describes the concept of a vegetable. And now, the concept you already knew is your existing knowledge or your old knowledge about that specific vegetable. Now, supposedly, you encounter other kind of vegetable which is exotic vegetable. Since it is exotic, you are not familiar. Let us take for example a broccoli. You are not familiar with this, but you already know that this is also a vegetable because it powers your existing knowledge of vegetable, and that is your new knowledge. So, in other words, if you combine your existing knowledge to your new knowledge, it will result to learning. And that is how derivative learning or derivative subsumption is. The next one is the correlative subsumption. It is when you add new details to what you already know. Usually, it's a higher order concept. Sample of the first one. Suppose you were acquainted to the concept of vegetable, but you encountered a nutritious content of a vegetable, like a given example like dietary fiber and vitamins that it contains. In order to accommodate this new information, you have to extend your concept of vegetables to the previous concept of that vegetables. Unlike in the derivative subsumption, who is only acquire basic knowledge, here in correlative subsumption, you are creating higher order concept using your basic knowledge. Therefore, it expands your thinking strategies in order to understand it. And that is how correlative subsumption. New material is an extension or elaboration of what is already known. Now, let us talk about the third process of meaningful learning, the superordinate learning. It is that you already familiar with the things but didn't know the concept itself until it was taught. Let's take this an example. Imagine you are already familiar with fruits, dairy, vegetable, grains, and meat. But you didn't know what are those foods until you were taught that these were all kinds of healthy diet foods. In this case, you already know about the examples, but you didn't know the concept itself until it was taught to you. Therefore, in superordinate learning, a new concept is learned under which established ideas can be subsumed. And the last part of the process for meaningful learning, combinatorial learning, the newly acquired knowledge combined with prior knowledge to enrich the understanding of both concepts. For example, to teach about how humans get energized throughout the day. Suppose he or she acquires that knowledge that because of gasoline, the car can be able to move and oxygen fuels a car. Using the previous acquired knowledge, you can relate that in his or her new knowledge, this is because their concepts are related to each other, and you can also directly say that this type of substance is learning by analogy. Now, let us talk about advanced organizer, also proposed by Ausubels. What is advanced organizers? Advanced organizer is a tool that professors can present to the students prior to a lecture to help them structure the information they are about to learn. And let us have a different types of advanced organizer. First, we will have the expository. The expository describes new knowledge and gives the students a broad idea of the lesson purpose before the lesson will begin. For example, a teacher may tell us what the lesson's goals are. For example, number 1, we've talked about what habitats are and why some animals prefer to live in different places than animals will do. Our goal today is to learn about the 4 layers of a tropical rainforest and which animals live in each of those different layers. And that's how the expository organizer will be used, and that will help the child or the students to have an idea and a big picture of that topic. The next one is the narrative. The narrative advanced organizer is use stories to activate background knowledge, allowing students to make connection to the things they already know. And narrative also present information through the form of a story format. In this advanced organizer, the students will be able to picture the main idea of the topic and help them visualize the importance of the study. And the next one is the scheming. Scheming is a strategic selective reading method in which you focus on the main ideas of a text. And scheming is you will be highlighting the main idea of the topic. For example, a teacher may ask a students over a reading. It is focusing on highlighted information such as captions or chapter readings. And after that, that makes them familiar with the lesson before they read it more truly. And this will help the student have interest in reading the main topic and help them read more about the specific idea. And the last one is the graphic organizer. It is a visual thinking tool that makes pictures of your thoughts. The picture demonstrates relationship between the facts, concept, or ideas and guide your thinking as you design the map or a diagram. People who have learning disabilities are often visual learners and thinkers. That means they understand and remember information better when ideas, words, and concepts are associated with the picture diagrams, charts, and maps. So, the graphic organizer can help to visualize and construct ideas and organize the sequence information. The ability to color code thought in a feature can help significantly in understanding and remembering the information. So, let us talk about the importance of Advanced Organizer. Advanced Organizer is the tool that will help the students have a big picture of the topic. This will help them learn more effectively throughout the lesson. And that is all about my report. Thank you for listening.